Hi guys, it's Miss Mayor. I am sitting out here on my front porch and I've just been thinking about everything that's happening with the pandemic. And I thought I'd make a video message to you just to kind of open up conversation, maybe get you all thinking about how you're feeling about what's happening around the world and just really what's happening with you personally. I know tonight my parents came over and I haven't been able to see them in a really long time. We FaceTime every night, we talk, but I'm used to going to my parents' house almost every day, whether to pick up Matthew after school or just to stop in and visit and drop something off. And tonight was the first time that I have seen them, probably in about 2 weeks. Now, when they came, they sat in my driveway and they were on one far side. The boys, Anthony and I, were on the other, and we just talked just to be able to see each other in person, and that was really, really nice. But as we spent more time together and when it was time for them to leave, it got really hard because we weren't able to say or hug goodbye. I was really leery about getting anywhere near them, really practicing that social distancing. I had to keep reminding Matthew to stay away from them, and that just hurts. We were doing some long range golf competitions, just taking turns hitting a golf ball, and they didn't want to participate because they were afraid of touching the golf club after we had touched it. Even after using Lysol wipes and everything, they just really weren't comfortable with it. And so that was hard. And I love seeing them. I love being in the same place with them in person, but not being able to really be with them, not really being able to interact with them as much as I would like was really tough. And as they were driving away, it just kind of dawned on me that we don't really know how long that we're going to be in this situation. And I know what I'm doing and the sacrifices are incredibly important, and I want to keep them safe more than anything, but it still hurts. And as I'm watching them leave and the feelings that I had, of course I started thinking about some of you all. I know a lot of you are very close with your grandparents. I've met your grandparents. I know how much you all interact with some of them, and I'm sure you're all feeling a lot of the same feelings. And so I just wanted to make this message, and maybe instead of trying to focus on the bad, because I did that, and it's normal, you're going to do it, you're going to have those days. But then I started thinking of ways maybe that we could start thinking about this pandemic as opportunities. So what I mean by that is this is going to be something that has a huge impact on you for the rest of your lives. You're going to remember this event forever. Just like I will never forget 9/11. I know exactly where I was when it happened. I can tell you exactly what I did, who I called first, what we did, how I acted the rest of the whole first week. And this is going to have that same effect for you. I know in social studies, we've talked a lot about you being the next leaders and what you're going to do when it's time for you to take over where your parents are, where your teachers are. And I thought maybe you could use your experiences and your thoughts and the maturity that's probably coming out of this and figure out a way for you to use this new perspective and help you develop who you're going to be as an adult, or as the next generation leader, as the next generational adult person. And so I was wondering how this impacted you. We just finished our religion unit. Has this experience made you more religious? Have you used this time to maybe grow in your faith, or to change your mind about faith, or to look at faith in a different way? Have you taken the time to pray more, or maybe less? Maybe just aren't into it, and that's totally fine too. Um, but there's got to be something, some kind of opinion that you have. Um, Maybe this event has made you a little bit more aware of your politics. Now, I hate thinking that politics plays such an important part in all of this. It makes me kind of angry, to be honest, because I want us to look at each other as Americans and not Republican, not Democrat. I don't know how you all feel about that. Maybe, in conversations we've had, I know you all have looked at our leaders and you've had opinions about those leaders and what you would do maybe when you get older, or what you would do differently. And so I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. Has this helped impact and maybe strengthen your beliefs about how you would be as a leader? Or has it given you more ideas of what you think our country needs, or any kind of community? How could you impact that community? What could you do to make it better? Um, Maybe this is an opportunity for you to be more kind. This is an opportunity for you to write letters to people who are far away that you can't visit in person. Maybe you're making cards for the elderly in nursing homes who no longer have visitors, except maybe people who come to their window. And those are usually just very close family members. But maybe you want to take this time and create a card just to say, I haven't forgotten you. I'm thinking about you, and I hope you're doing well, and that we're all in this together. I read an article that said that's really what people want to hear, and what they want to be assured of is that we're all in this together, because it is very lonely, especially if you live by yourself, which none of us do. We all have our families, but there's quite a few people right now who don't have anybody with them. There's some of your teachers at Model who don't live with anybody, that they're in their homes by themselves right now. And the only bright spot for them is making a connection with their students, or having an opportunity to talk to their students or coworkers. And so maybe thinking about those people and reaching out to them through a card or a note would have a big impact on those people right now, especially during this time. Maybe right now you're just taking this opportunity to, prepare for the next sports season. You're like, hey, I've got more time now, and I can practice my soccer, I can practice basketball, baseball, I can do some weightlifting, try to get stronger. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's wonderful, because you are able to focus your energy and your strength on something besides the pandemic and, the things that we can't do. And maybe you're just surviving. Maybe your parents are the people who are keeping us the safest, and they're working in healthcare. And, maybe you just have fear for your parents. And so right now for you, the best thing you can do is just survive, to make sure that you're getting your schoolwork done and trying to stay positive for them. And that's okay too. And I'm really proud of you if you're able to do that, and if you're doing that for your family and putting them first, because that's what they need from you. And I think that's wonderful. No matter how any of us are affected by this, we're going to come out on top. Now, I think the governor told us earlier this week, or at the end of this week, that probably beginning of May is when we could return to school. And I really, really hope that happens, because I miss you all so much. A lot of you all I had when my first year at Model, when I was teaching third grade, and you were my third graders. And I had to tell you that first class you have at any new job, they are your favorite. So you all have a very special place in my heart. And, I'm sad because I have to wait a long time to see you again. But I'm also thinking that there's a possibility that maybe I won't get to see you. Maybe something happens, because we really don't know how long this is going to last. And we may not get back together again until after the school year. But no matter what happens, our Zoom meetings, those things that we do together, when I ask you all to meet me in the Hangouts or in the Zoom meeting, or just responding, on the Google Classroom, those are really, really important. It's important to me, because I want to know that you're okay, and that you are paying attention to your schoolwork. It's important to your classmates because they love to see when your pictures show up. They love to see you, and just to hear your voice means a lot to them. And it means a lot to them just to see the words that you're writing on that screen. Okay? So please know that you're very important, and that anytime that you can reach out and talk to any of us in our classroom, it means a lot to a lot of people. Well, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to say to you all, but I hope that you do find the silver linings in what's happening around our world right now. And I hope you find a way to either think deeper, think bigger, be kinder, help your parents, help your families in any way that you can. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night.